with that, the UFC featherweight championship is now vacant. Volkanovski is in the... Volk goes to the inside leg kick now, changes the level and goes high. Is particularly measured here across the first minute.
Lopes.
I mean, when you've got a guy like Diego Lopes who's going to bring it, you know he's going to bring it. You know, he's a gamer. He's going to want to get in the face and make it a fight. So we're going to have no choice but to fight. That's the fight he brings. That's why he's so exciting. And that's why you're all going to be in a, you know, have a great fight Sunday morning or daytime, whatever it is. So cannot wait. Again, we're going to put on a show for all ears.
We see you there wearing the Cooking with Volk apron. So, I mean, put it summary for us. What is the recipe to beating Diego this weekend?
I mean, like I said, very, very tough guy. You know he's durable. He's good at striking. He's powerful. He's good at the ground. But that's when you've got to use everything. I just think I'm too smart. And I'm just going to, you know, again, the first fight obviously went my way. He will make adjustments. But I just don't believe that's going to be enough.
And for you, Diego, if you win this weekend, it will be 1-1. As champion, would you go to the UFC and say, hey, I want the trilogy and a rematch with Volkanovski?
Oh yeah, I think it is 100%, you know. Volkanovski is a legend in the sport, so if UFC say me, you need one more fight with Volk, I take this. The people know me, I mean, I accept the whole fight in my career. It's like I never say no.
There's been a lot of talk about retirement. Can you assure all of us fans this will not be your last fight and you still got a lot left in the tank?
That's it, mate. That's it. Like, I know a lot of people saying that, don't know where that come from. Obviously, I've got a tough challenge ahead of me, but I'm going to get my hand raised and then maybe a quick turnaround. Hopefully minimal damage so we can get right back in there.
The tension has returned, and it is more intense this time. UFC analysts disagree on whether championship calm can once more stifle uncontrollable momentum as Diego Lopes and Alexander Volkanovski move closer to a rematch. With scathing comments, both fighters renewed the rivalry, demonstrating that this collision is motivated by unresolved issues, particularly for Lopes. This isn't just a second battle, it's a reckoning with pride, legacy, and evolution all at stake.
Has Diego Lopes made the necessary adjustment to be able to keep up with Volk? Volk is going to move, Volk is going to score, and can Diego Lopes stop him from doing that?
I think Diego, he's really focused on trying to just, you know, correct any mistakes that he made on the first time. But yeah, I think Alex is gonna come in strong too. I don't know how what's their strategy is gonna be because the fight was kind of like so close the first time, you know what I mean? So yeah.
And it isn't being sugarcoated by Volkanovski. The champion made it apparent that running it back doesn't carry the same weight when it comes to defining his career after already having his hand raised once against Diego Lopes. Rather than reopening a chapter he feels is already closed, he believes that true legacy fights come from breaking new ground, such as giving undefeated contenders their first defeat.
Some people might have wanted me to see against maybe a Movza undefeated guy, and that maybe for legacy reasons and people that are in the know. But then you've got everyone that still just, you know, want to watch me fight. They're like, oh, this is going to be exciting. Last time was exciting. Now we get to have this in Sydney. So I think they're all in for a treat. But yeah, obviously legacy-wise, you know, having a rematch against someone I just beat, is it going to be doing so much for my legacy? Probably not. But every fight, I don't think I really need to worry too much about that. I think every fight's going to be a big fight, and me just defending against these young, hungry guys. Him obviously coming off a big victory, and just knowing that we're going to put on a show that's at least I've got a good dance partner for Sydney. But that doesn't mean I can't still get these guys, and then we talk about legacy. Maybe that's exactly what's next.
After a less active year that demanded extra recovery, Volkanovski says the focus this time is on efficiency rather than unnecessary damage. He explained that while the first fight presented plenty of openings, there were small lapses that allowed Lopes to land when he shouldn't have. Those details, he says, have been tightened up. The plan is to punish aggression, fully commit when a finish presents itself, and then immediately return to being defensively responsible, pressing his advantages without slipping into recklessness.
You talked about last year you didn't get to be as active. There was a little bit more recovery time needed. How are you looking at mitigating the damage of this fight?
Just capitalise on the opportunities that come my way. You know what I mean? Again, he's going to be aggressive. Even though I felt like I had some great options, there was times where I did some things that weren't too good. Where he would catch me, there's things I just could have done better. You know, and some of those things are just very little things. You know what I mean? So very little things that I need to fix, and we fix them. So that's again, I want to make him pay for the things, and then obviously do the damage, bulldoze, is that the word I was looking? Bulldoze through with some big punches or whatever it is, and still stay safe. When I say that, it doesn't mean I'm going to be reckless. It just means I'm going to capitalise on opportunities and really capitalise. If I feel like there's a finish there, I'm going to really turn in for the finish. Then I can go back.
For Diego, this second attempt at the title is completely different from the first. He is carrying a calm confidence that comes from experience rather than feeling pressured. He feels that there is no mystery left, only opportunity, since he has already gone all the way on the biggest stage. Lopes views this rematch as an opportunity to demonstrate how much more composed and confident he has become since losing the first time, rather than as a burden, because 5-round intensity is now familiar to him.
Diego, as a man who has fought and came up short for the title before, getting this rematch round and a second opportunity, does it put more pressure on you, or is it more exciting because you get another shot at this?
No, it's like no pressure. I think now it's like I'm more calm, more confident in myself too. After I'm sharing octagon with Volk like for 25 minutes, not as new for me, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm so calm.
Looking back at the first meeting in the octagon, Diego doesn't shy away from the mistakes he made. Once he felt he had the power to end it, he admits he became too focused on landing one big finishing shot, which caused him to drift away from his overall game plan. This time, he says those flaws have been cleaned up in camp, and he's preparing to show a more disciplined and complete version of himself in the rematch.
I'm confident in myself.
When you look at the first fight that you and Alex had, is there one thing that cost you that fight that he did better, or are there a few things that you think, okay, this one needs to be changed, this one needs to be changed? When you look at that fight, how do you break it down?
Oh yeah, it's like I know I make a lot of mistakes in the fish fight with Volk. I'm trying only finish here one big hit, you know, one big punch. Like more is like after the second round when I'm dropping him, I feel like, okay, I have the power for finishing him. You know, it's like only looking for this, so I forget many things in my game plan. I think I fixed this in the training camp. I fixed many things, so now it's like it's completely different.
Now moving on to opinions other than the fighters, Michael Bisping framed it as a razor-thin contest that still had a clear winner the first time around, while pointing out how much has changed since. Diego's statement knockout streak has reignited belief, earning him another opportunity at a moment when questions about Volk's long-term future linger. But Bisping stressed that experience cuts both ways. Diego must be sharper, busier, and willing to lead exchanges, while Volk brings elite fight IQ and meticulous preparation. Both men now have the blueprint to correct past mistakes, which is exactly what makes the rematch so compelling.
Close fight, but Volkanovski clearly deserved to win that fight. Since then, and you're right, there's been critics out there, but since then Diego Lopes went out, knocked out Lord John Silver with an incredible spinning elbow, put him to sleep, right? Slowed down the hype train of John Silver, and now he gets another crack. Because as we mentioned and as we touched on, we don't know how long Volk is going to be around this sport. And listen, Diego Lopes has a chance now to go back in there and right the wrongs. He's got to be more active. He's got to go first. He's got to lead the dance. But one thing we know about Volkanovski is that the man has a ridiculously high fight IQ. He takes this sport so seriously. He's got one of the best teams around him in terms of technical input. So it's on both sides. He's had 25 minutes with Diego Lopes. He'll watch that fight back.
Everything about Volk impresses, from his humility and humor to his genuine connection with people. Bisping highlighted his personality off the cage, from his cooking skills to the playful skits he posts online, and paired that with his elite fighting ability. His calm under pressure pressure, relentless discipline in training, and ability to learn from every performance make him a complete champion. For Australia, there's no better representative on the global stage, both as a fighter and as a person.
Lopes.
Just everything about Volkanovski impresses me. I mean, number one, when you speak to the guy, he's one of the best human beings. He's so humble, he's so down to earth, he's got a great sense of humour, he's a man of the people, he's awesome at cooking, he's a great little actor. You see the skits that he does online, like the old man bit, you know, like falling asleep and everything, walking out with a walking stick and whatnot. And then combine that with his fighting ability, his fight IQ, the way he stays calm under pressure, the way that he learns from all performances, the discipline that he has throughout all of his training camps. I mean, the man, you can't get a better champion than Alexander Volkanovski, and Australia could not have a better person to represent them on the world stage than Alexander Volkanovski.
However, Demetrius Johnson is calling it like he sees it. He's not angry, but just frustrated by what he sees as inconsistencies in how title shots are handed out. Drawing from his own experience defending belts, he points out that in the past, fighters had to build long streaks before getting another shot. Now he says, some fighters can lose and come right back for a title, often driven by popularity rather than merit. To him, it's a matter of transparency. If popularity is the deciding factor, the UFC should just say it so fans understand the reasoning.
I'd say I'm not mad. I just wanted to make sense, right? Like I've been in your shoes before, right? Like I've defended the belt so many times. I see the guy who's next in line. You know, Joseph Benavidez, after I knocked him out, I beat him in in Toronto. He goes on a 5-fight win streak. He gets the next title shot. John Dodson, I beat him. He goes on a 5-fight win streak. Nowadays, it's like you fucking lose to the champion. You go get one fight and you come back like pop. Like you're already back in the title shot. Right? It's same thing. You know, you look at Peter Yan, he just fought Marab. He took him 3 fucking years. 3 years to get back a title shot. Right? It's like, it's almost like, you know, that's why I talk about Dana White privileges, right? It's like how, like if they want to just say he's way more popular than you guys, he's getting a shot. That's why he's getting a shot. Just way more popular. I don't give a fuck. This man's on a 20-fight win streak. He's way more popular. Come out and say that way the
MMA Guru is critical of the rematch as well, arguing it doesn't do much for Volk's legacy. While he acknowledges Diego's impressive win over Silva, he believes there were bigger, more meaningful challenges Volk could have taken, like the undefeated Evlov or former champ Aljo. Forcing him into back-to-back fights with Lopes, he says, feels like a step that doesn't add to Volk's long-term standing in the sport. He sees it as a fight that's more about timing and convenience than cementing greatness.
Volkanovski Lopes too. This is disgusting. Diego Lopes beat Gene Silva. Movsar Evloev is there. I know he's been inactive, and people are talking about Lerone Murphy like he didn't just beat fucking Josh Emmett and Aaron Pico. The Murphy one is like, okay, well, we haven't really seen him beat a top 5 guy yet. It's not like he's the Tony Ferguson of the division that people are making him out to be. You got to do one more, and I've been waiting for guys to do one more. But there's been no time for it because of the timing of things. But Evloev? Aljo? Something fresh? Something new? Aljo, former champ? I know he lost to Evloev, but Evloev's right there. The undefeated Dagestani guy for Volk to take on in his last fight. This is Volk's last fight. And you've just made him fight Lopes back-to-back. This does nothing for his legacy. This does nothing for...
On the other hand, Lerone Murphy sees this one heavily in favor of Volk. While he acknowledges Diego's power and danger in any fight, he believes that over 100 hypothetical matchups, Volk would win nearly every time. Murphy points to Volk's intelligence and composure, noting that Diego's last fight against Silva exposed defensive gaps that a fighter like Volk would exploit. In his view, smart game planning and capitalizing on openings make Volk the clear favorite heading into the rematch.
Between Alex Volkanovski and Diego Lopes.
I see it going the same way, to be honest. Obviously, Diego supposedly hits hard. He's got a puncher's chance. Any MMA fight, we know that it's a very dangerous fight. But I think if they fight 100 times, I think Volkanovski wins 95. That's my opinion. I believe Volkanovski comes out of it. He fights a smart fight again. And bro, if you look at Diego's last fight with Silva, he was getting rocked.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting rocked, and he was getting rocked, bro. Yeah, he was getting rocked, and I think Volkanovski is a very, very, very smart fighter. And if I watch that fight with Silva, I see so many openings in Diego's defense. So many openings.
Moreover, Corey Sandhagen is taking a bold stance. After rewatching the first fight, he provocatively picks Lopes to pull off the upset, and he doesn't stop there, predicting a knockout as the method. It's a daring take that flips the expected narrative and adds an extra layer of intrigue to the rematch. His prediction has fans buzzing, forcing everyone to reconsider just how dangerous Lopes can be when he's at his best.
Yeah, I rewatched that fight actually kind of recently. I think Lopes, let's be provocative and say I think Lopes is going to win.
Provocative?
Yeah. That's what I should have answered when you said what is.
Yeah.
All right.
How does he win, though?
Let's be more provocative and say knockout.
On the contrary, Aljamain Sterling sees the rematch factor playing in Diego's favor, pointing to the damage Volk has taken in recent fights and noting that a single well-placed shot could be pivotal. Still, he admits he's rooting for Volk, calling him an OG and highlighting the respect and shared history they have in the sport. It's a perspective that balances realistic concern with admiration.
It's X factor for the title fight, UFC 325 featherweight division, Volkanovski Diego Lopes rematch.
X factor?
X factor.
I guess that is a rematch. Diego clipped him one time, and we know Volk's chin is not what it used to be, right? So those two knockouts back to back, I really do think it hurt him, and I think if there's an X factor, it's probably that.
Do you favor Diego Lopes because it's a rematch?
I do, but I want Volkanovski to win.
Why?
Because he's an OG. He's an unk. We're unks.
Then Luke Thomas breaks down just how difficult it is to challenge Volk. To land punches, an opponent needs to pressure him, maintain sharp footwork, and keep him on the back foot. But failing to control the cage means Volk can simply escape. Wrestling him isn't easy either, since he's both a strong scrambler and a skilled wrestler, leaving challengers almost back at square one when trying to devise a game plan. Thomas adds that while Volk might occasionally put together quicker combinations to force mistakes or increase his volume, the bigger issue is just how elusive he is. He's slippery, tough to pin, and nearly impossible to control, meaning anyone facing him has to be exceptionally precise with spacing and cage management just to have a chance. Even small lapses in positioning can turn into big openings for him to exploit, and Dan Hardy sees a real opening for Lopes to adjust in the rematch. Having spent significant time in the cage with Volk before, he knows where the surprises and unexpected movements lie. Hardy points out that many fighters misread Volk's style, who struggled to anticipate his movement, and Lopes now has the chance to study, adapt, and raise his game. With that experience in mind, Hardy calls this a prime opportunity for him to make meaningful changes. Now it's your turn. Who do you think comes out on top? Drop your predictions in the comments and make sure to subscribe for all the latest fight breakdowns and updates. We want to hear your take. Are you backing Volk to defend or Lopes to pull off the upset?